Hey everyone, Tofu here, and welcome back to more Banjo-Tooie. Last time... Gosh, what even did we do last time? Did we start Pterodactyl Land last time? I can't even remember. It's been a few days since I recorded. I think we started Pterodactyl Land. Because this is still, very beginning of the world stuff. At least for what I usually do. So, I'm going to just assume that we started Pterodactyl Land. Yeah, I think that's right. And we did some other stuff at, Mayhem Temple and whatnot. But last time, we got chased up to the top of this mountain by a very angry dinosaur who was spitting stuff at us. So, today, we're gonna start by, actually going to check that out and whatnot, and probably have a bit of a battle at Terry's Nest, where we have, well, hold up, wait for the name to show up, though I'm sure you can guess what this guy's name is. But we apparently have stolen his eggs. I don't know why this guy thinks we stole his eggs, because we did no such thing at all. But this is Terry, the disgruntled pterodactyl parent, who I guess this land is named after, because this is Pterodactyl Land. And, yeah, this guy's attacks are actually kind of difficult. His spit hones in on you pretty well. So you really gotta be moving yourself. And then when he flies around, you gotta shoot grenade eggs at him in first person. So he's gonna spit his mucoids at us. And I actually find... Okay, never mind. Okay, that's a terrible example. Okay, really, that's awful. I was like, this is probably the only enemy... Okay, that was actually a great example of it. That is the only enemy in the game that I actually find Breagle Bash to be useful for at all, because it can attack multiple enemies in one swoop. Ow! Ow! Okay. Yeah, not doing so well in this fight. This is actually one of the easier fights in the game, but his attacks can mess you up pretty good like that. Thankfully, we only have a couple more hits on him, so I just kind of need to survive here. I don't actually know if I'm gonna do Breagle Bash again on these guys, because, as you saw, it is very risky to actually go for it, because you do have to stand still for a bit. So you can just kill these guys with a simple roll. But, oh jeez. Well, you can get... Fuck! Okay, do not fucking kill me. Okay, thank God. I was like, is there any healing in this fight? I was not sure. Please get that. Okay, now don't get hit. Just keep moving, just jump like that. Jump with Talent Trot, that is working pretty well. Ooh, that was... Yay! Okay, I think we're good. Because this guy only has 2 hits left, and yeah, the grenade egg did 2 hits to him. Huh, that was the hardest I've ever struggled with that fight. That is not that's not usually a difficult fight. I don't think I was at full honeycombs when I came in here. I probably was, and I'm just making excuses, but, I don't know. I mean, that one, booger guy hit me a bunch of times when I was trying to Breagle Bash it. But anyway, we beat the guy. And it was all just a misunderstanding, because we, of course, did not steal his eggs. Apparently this guy, got divorced, not long before, the events of the game. I think, actually, if you go to Jingling's throne room, way back in Jinjo Village, because he's a zombie now, which I don't even know if I mentioned, but, when it happened, obviously you saw it happen, but I don't recall talking about this, but if you actually go and talk to him, he'd give you some hints about the bosses in the game, and I believe one of the things he says about Terry is that he recently got divorced. I can't remember if Jingling says that, or if that's, in the instruction manual where that's said. But either way, Terry got divorced, and now he has to look after the kids. And the kids' eggs are scattered across the world. We, of course, have seen a few of those eggs, so we've got to hatch those for Terry, bring the children back to him. So there's our Jiggy from defeating Terry. But also, if we drill this thing in the center of the nest, we get another Jiggy. And there's a useless shock jump pad in there because you can just backflip right out. So yeah, I don't understand why that Jiggy is there, because you have to, like, you can't just come up here naturally without fighting Terry first anyway, so it's almost like you just get 2 Jiggies for beating Terry, which is a bit odd, I feel. I feel like they just kind of, like, ran out of ideas for Jiggies in this world, so they just, like, put 2 up here. And we're, of course, gonna get another one for helping him with his kids as well. So, that's 3 of them. Now, this area down here, I don't remember if I have to do this now or not. My memory's a bit foggy. Oh, never mind. No, I'm confusing this with... Oh, wait. No, that's the actual staircase that I came up from. There's another staircase up here that I get mixed up on. I think it's actually all the way to the right over here. And I want to go there now because there is some stuff, like, we could technically do this now, I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, no, I don't think we can because I did not get the move yet. But we want to open that little grate so that way we can come up here from down below later. But we obviously couldn't get back up here if that grate was shut, and we can only open it from this side, so we should go ahead and do that now. But now, I think I'm actually just gonna die because, what the fuck? What? Oh. Okay. I wanted to just fall off the edge because that is a bottomless pit. But I was at such low health that I just took fall damage from landing on the side of the mountain, and Banjo just landed in a very goofy pose. I actually need these right now. Yeah. That was... Oh my god. I'm sorry. I probably peaked the mic on that. But I don't care. That was so funny. That was one of the funniest things I've seen in this game. Oh, jeez. Okay. See, I didn't actually respawn at a very helpful point, because there's no real warp pad that's nearby that area, so we just kind of have to make our way back up the nest again anyway. It's whatever, but it's not that far of a walk. So I don't need feathers. Though actually, how am I? I'm probably full on golden feathers, right? Because I don't think I've had to use golden feathers at all in this playthrough. I could have used them in that fight to protect myself a bit, but I didn't really want to. So yeah. Now we want to go ahead and go this way. Across the warp pad that is near Terry's nest. And let's make sure to deal with these guys before we cross that very narrow bridge, because if those guys hit us at all, well, we're probably dead. So that is not good. By the way, if you look down here right now, you can see a very peculiar land formation. I have no idea what that could be. It's kind of funny. So I'm recording this like 2 days after the last episode, and when I edited the last episode for the outro, like at the end of the outro, I just shot a Clockwork Kazooie egg backwards and made it explode in midair. And I didn't realize it as I was recording, but in editing, I saw that like it actually exploded right, like perfectly over that land formation. And I found that to be very, very funny, but it was not intentional. Anyways, we've got some fire here, so we need to put it out with ice. This stuff will, like, light on fire again eventually. Yeah, that was actually much faster than I thought it was, but I wanted to try to get rid of that pterodactyl guy because they are very, very annoying. Thankfully it only does, like, 1 point of damage to us, so not a huge deal. But speaking of wondering, we're going to actually make use of that right now. Well, not right this second now, but in like a couple seconds, we're gonna actually use Wonder Wing, which will be exciting because we haven't done that yet. But here we have the stomping plains, which we have a warp pad for, which is a little unnecessary because the warp pad by Terry's nest is not far from here. But, I mean, I guess I'll take it. It'll save you the trouble of having to go through that little cavern again. So I'm not going to complain about it. Warp pads are good, and are probably like one of the best things in this game. But you can hear the boss music again. There are actually like a couple instances in this level where we hear the boss music, and I don't remember if it actually shows you the name. Yeah, it does. Stomponodon. So this feels like another boss right now, but it's actually not. Basically, we just have to go across the stomping plains, but when we do it, Stomponodon is going to stomp their feet on us, like, at all times. And if you get hit by it, it doesn't kill you, but it sends you back to 1 honeycomb. Always. Unless you are at 1 honeycomb, then you will die if you get hit. So I kind of want to show off a little sheet here. This doesn't really help. This isn't what you're supposed to do here at all. I don't know why I swapped, but as you can see, both Banjo and Kazooie are at 1 honeycomb now, that they are both separated. But if we go back together, now they're at 2. So I don't think we can do it any more than that. I think they'll still both be at 1 here. But I mean, it is something you can do to get a free honeycomb back, technically. Not that... Well, it is actually helpful for us, because if we accidentally get hit again, we'll get sent to 1 honeycomb instead of, you know, dying. But that doesn't matter, because the only way for us to actually get across right now is to just Wonder Wing right through it. And this is... I think... No, there's one other point in the game. I'm pretty sure. Technically 2, but that is not intentional. This is like one of the only times in the entire game that you actually have to use Wonder Wing. In the first game, there were a few instances where you had to use it, like a lot more. Like one of the attacks in the final boss, like you have to use Wonder Wing to guard it. But this is one of the only instances in the game that you actually have to use Wonder Wing, and it's like the first instance too, because we haven't had to use it at all up until this point. Otherwise, you can just kind of use it just to guard yourself from stuff as you normally would. So it's actually kind of nice because there's so little points in the game that are actually required for it that you can just kind of... You don't have to be so conservative about it when you're just using it to dodge regular attacks. So there we hit a switch that had both Banjo and Kazooie's face on it to get a Jiggy, but we still have a switch here with Banjo's face on it and a switch with Kazooie's face on it. So we now have to figure out how to get both Banjo and Kazooie separately across the stomping plains. And we are actually not going to do that right now because we can't. We can get Kazooie across right now, and I guess I can do that. But we'll have to get Kazooie across again later anyway with Banjo. So it's not a huge deal to just skip that right now, but I want to try. So Kazooie is actually fast enough to make this on her own. Even though logically she should be able to use Wonder Wing right now because she has the gold feathers, but I don't know. They didn't want her to use it, I guess. So I only have one shot at this because Kazooie will die if I get hit at all. So you have to kind of time this, like, as soon as the foot goes back up is when you want to run to hide into another hole. So let's see here. Wait for it to come back down. Okay, there we go. That's gonna be close. Okay, that's fine. You want to be careful because if you jump, like, too early, you'll jump, like, right into the foot. And that is obviously not good. Go. That felt really close. Yeah, well, it's like, when I jump, like, against that, like, the side of it, I feel like I don't gain any distance. So I want to try to, like, stand a little further from the wall to try and, like, actually jump forward a bit more. Let's try that. There we go. Eep. Nope, that was not good. Do I actually want to keep trying this? I mean, I might as well, right? Because here's the thing with this, is I feel like it's going to mess up my totals later. Because, like, when I check the totals at the end of the world, obviously I know how many collectibles we're going to be able to get right now. And I feel like if I miss this Jinjo, it's going to mess me up somehow. So I'm just going to try to get this Jinjo anyway. There's a Jinjo behind the gate, by the way, if you could not see it before. So let's try this again. Okay, pretty good. This is not easy to do while commentating. Okay, I got hit once. We only have 2 more stomps to go through, though. So not the worst thing in the world. Oh god. Okay, let's try that. That doesn't feel good. Yeah, I did not feel good about that at all. Okay, so I guess the answer to that is just don't commentate at all, because what the fuck? Why was that so easy that time? Whatever. Okay, we got the Jinjo. That's all I wanted. Let's get Kazooie out of here. Go through this little shortcut, which I guess just warps back around to the start. Actually takes you to like a little slide, which I think is kind of cute. Speaking of cute, look at Kazooie. Her stinking cute little idle animation. I love her. Where's Banjo? Banjo! There he is. Alright, let's get out of here. Now we can just take this warp pad back to the top of the mountain. We don't have a lot of warps here yet. We have barely scratched the surface of all the exploring to do in this world. But let's actually go ahead and do some more of that right now. I don't think I need this honeycomb thing. Beehive, that's what it's called. Yeah, I'm good. So I think now there's like a certain spot here that I want to ground pound at. I think it's like over here. Because there's a very convenient spot that I want to land at. It might be like just right here, actually. I don't know. I should look down and see where I'm about to land, but screw that. I'm sure it'll be fine. Is this where I want to be? I don't actually know if this is where I want to be. It might be. But either way, in here, we have another Rocknut Tribe member, which if you remember... remember. That was a stupid rhyme, but... we have to blow those guys up with Clockwork Kazooie eggs. And I think the deal with this guy is, like, no matter what area you come from, because we can go see him over here as well. But if we do that, I think he will turn around if we try to get him from this way. So, let's see. Yep, he turns around. So what you have to do is you have to shoot a Clockwork Kazooie egg and have it jump across those platforms there, which is a little scary, but not too bad. The Clockwork Kazooie cannot jump super well. Like, you can just barely make these jumps. But it is doable, and as long as you don't jump horrifically awfully, I guess that makes sense, you'll be fine. And this guy won't turn around, and you can blow him up. So how many more of those guys do we need, actually? I want to say it's like 2 more? Yeah, there's 2 more of those doodad guys. We have this Jiggy, which is just kind of taunting us right now. The sign says, the code of the dinosaurs. Okay, well that's not helpful. So we gotta figure out the code of the dinosaurs. I don't think we want to go up here right now, because I think this just takes us back up to the nest, but I guess I'll just check to make sure. Yeah, this is just where we were before. So, let's go back. Oh god, okay. And now we should be able to just walk right through this tunnel, which is nice. And then, nothing to do with that right now. Go down here. I guess we can go in here right now. In fact, I don't think there's really going to be a better time to, so we might as well do it now. Let's go in here, into Unga Bunga's cave. We have actually been in this area before. Well, not this specific area, but I think we could have gone in here before. We have jam jars here. Who needs 420 notes? Let's go! Yeah, but he's gonna kick us out because... he just called Kazooie Flea Girl? What the hell? Actually, yeah, let me get some golden feathers, because I do need those. But yeah, that's a Kazooie-only move, so we have to bring Kazooie here by herself. But we can very easily do that if we go up here. These platforms are so weird. They're so jank to jump up, I feel. Here we have an angry beehive. So they'll actually start attacking us now. Similar to how in the first game they started to have bees swarm around them eventually. And they became much more risky to actually refill your health with. We actually fought this guy before, I'm pretty sure, because... where's that entry at? Let me go first person for a second. Oh my god, that guy's gonna charge right at me. You butt. Also, the beehives only drop 2 honeycombs right now, so that's kind of annoying that they go from 3 to 2. Whereas in Banjo-Kazooie, even the beehives with bees still dropped 3 honeycombs. But yeah, this is the same area as before with, that was near Mayhem Temple, that also has the jumping shoes over there. And I believe I actually showed this area very briefly when I came here during Mayhem Temple. But I did not want to explore too far. Obviously, like, there was a grate there that blocked us off from the rest of Pterodactyl Land. But I think you theoretically could have, like, gone down to that Jam Jars area, but you also would not have split up at that point, or nearly enough notes to actually get the move for it. So, there was no point in that. But we can split up now, and we have more than 420 notes. So, it is gonna be time to get this move. Let's do that. Let's spend our 420 notes. Well, not actually spend it, because we don't actually lose any notes. We just have to have a certain amount. A bird who can't hatch eggs. It's so absurd. So yes, this is the hatch ability. Kazooie is now... Oh! We got the rare animation there. Very nice. So yeah, Kazooie is now a mom, and she can hatch eggs whenever she wants. Which is... nice. Okay. So that's how we have to hatch all of those eggs from Terry. And there's a couple other eggs in the game, of course, that we need to hatch as well. Such as the Tip-Tup's egg in Jolly Roger's Lagoon. We can do that now. But I won't be doing that for a while. There's also the other Stop and Swap egg in Heggy's... Can I make this jump? What the hell, Kazooie? There's, yeah, the Stop and Swap egg in Heggy's egg shed. Oh my gosh. What the hell, dude? These platforms are so weird, I'm telling you. They make no sense. Like, look at this. Like, what is happening there? They're so jank. Please get... Oh my god. This is awful. I'm sorry. What is happening? Get up there. Jeez. Alright. Kill this guy. Yeah, this will take 2 hits with Kazooie. That's fine. Get that health. I don't actually need it, though. Now, this is actually kind of tricky and honestly a bit evil. There is, like... I don't know how you would be expected to actually see this, because it is very tough to see, but there is a slight little opening in the wall there that you can go down. And I think this would be cool for, like, a secret, but, like, this is a required thing to do. Well, it's not technically required, because you can get just however many jiggies you want. You don't necessarily have to get all of them. But if you know, just want to do everything in a world, that is one thing that you have to do. Is find this very narrow pathway in the wall, and that is just very strange. But also, dang, Kazooie looks really cool in this lighting here. I don't know how this lighting works, because we're in like a cave, and there's like, you know, orange fire around, but she looks like kind of pink. I don't know. It's very interesting. She just looks cool there. I mean, she always looks cool, but she looks really cool there. Let's get this guy. I don't actually need any of his honeycombs, though. I just wanted him to die. So that's that. But let's actually get out of here now, because I don't need to be here. I didn't mean to bilge roll that guy, but I guess that's how he'll go out. That's probably fine. He'll respawn. Anyway, now that that is taken care of... By the way, I didn't actually explain how you use hatch. Well, obviously you have to be solo Kazooie, and you just have to squat, or I guess crouch, with the Z button, and then press B. And that's all it is. And you can only do it on eggs. Otherwise, it won't do anything. So here we have Humba Wumba for this level. And do I want to do the stuff with her now? I guess I will. There's actually a Mumbo pad in front of Humba Wumba's, which we'll figure out why that's there later. But feel free to speculate about the implications of that if you don't already know. So let's give her our Globo and get the transformation here for the stage. This transformation is very weird. Very weird, very unique, I guess, compared to some of the other transformations in the game. So we have the dinosaur, or baby T-Rex, I guess. And all she tells us that we can do is use the control stick to move. Which, thanks, Humba. I would not have figured that out otherwise. But that's actually all we can do right now. I mean, we can jump, but she didn't tell us we could jump, so how was I supposed to know? So all the other transformations in the game so far have had an attack. but the T-Rex does not. Like, you hit B, hit Z, nothing happens. And I don't know why they did it like this, but to actually get the T-Rex to have an attack, you have to go up to one of these dinosaur enemies. And it's so weird, because, like, they don't even have, like, a mouth movement animation. It's so weird. Like, I feel like this was not intended to, like, be a character that talks. But you actually have to go up to one of those enemies, and they will teach you how to roar. And now you can roar. If you just press B, you'll do a short roar, and if you hold B, you'll do a much longer roar. I don't know why they couldn't just have Wumba tell you that. I don't understand. We have a T-Rex switch here, but it actually doesn't do anything right now for us as the dinosaur, so there's nothing to do with that. So, what we can actually do with the dinosaur now is... You might have seen some of these little circle things around here that have the dinosaur printed on it. If we roar in front of it, it will open up and we can go inside. So that's what we have to do with it. And inside this little cave here, there's a Cheeto page. And there's a sign here. And I believe this sign actually tells you the passcode to that one Jiggy we saw up top the not at the top of the mountain, but higher up the mountain, that had Jiggy behind it, and the sign there said that we needed to learn the dinosaur code. And basically we have to just input a sequence of long and short roars, and I believe that sign actually tells you what the code is. So, that is what we have to do. We have to go back up there. Actually, it's not convenient to go that way. And the reason I didn't check the sign to actually see what the code is because I want to test myself and see if I can actually remember what the code is after all these playthroughs, because it's actually one of the codes I'm not too confident in. You know, there's a couple, like, memorization things for these games that, like, are just always going to stick with me. Like, the Rusty Bucket Bay code is 312111. But this one I'm not too sure about. And by the way, this little hole here will take us right up the mountain, so that's actually very convenient. And I think you can make these jumps with the T-Rex, but it's a little weird, because, like, he jumps very high, but he doesn't actually get a ton of distance, so it just kind of messes you up a little bit. So I would recommend dealing with the Rocknut Tribe guy in here first. You can just walk right through it. So, let's see if I can actually remember what this is. I want to say it's like, short, long, short, long. So that's like AAB, ABB. Something like that. Well, not A, because you don't press A to do a short roar. But it's just short. You just press B once, press B again, then hold B. Press B once, hold B, hold B. So let's try that. I think that's right. Okay, long roar. And we do short. And then we do long. And we do another long. That was it! I'm really proud of myself for that one. I mean, it's not the hardest code in the world, but I was not too certain about that, so I'm glad that I was right. And that is actually all we have to do with the T-Rex right now. It's kind of sad because it's such a cute and cool-looking power, but we don't really actually get a whole lot of use out of it. There is still stuff to do with Wumba. Of course, as you saw, there is a Mumbo pad next to her house, and we will use that, and that will be pretty cool. But even that doesn't have a ton of uses either. So it's kind of sad that, like, the transformation in this world, for as cool as it is, because it's literally a T-Rex, does not get a lot of use at all. But oh well. We've still got some stuff to do. I've got a lot of stuff to do as Banjo and Kazooie, so let's get to that. I got the warp pad near here, right? I don't know why I wouldn't, but just thinking about it, yeah, I did. Okay, so I guess I can do this now. I don't actually know if this is the best way to do this, but we'll take these spring shoes and go over here. Just try to jump all the way up here. And here we will meet this guy, who does not have the boss music, but I think he still has, like, the boss surname pop up. Yep. Dippy, Seeker of Beverages. Hi, Dippy. So this guy wants water, because he's thirsty. And that's, you know, a good reason to want water. So we have to get water for him. But we don't have water right now, do we? But we can go in this hole. And we are technically supposed to do this later, I think, because if you couldn't tell, we're obviously supposed to fill this place up with water at some point, so we'll be able to swim down here. And once that's filled with water, we can swim up there and get that Cheeto page. But we can actually just get it now with a Clockwork Kazooie egg. So, that is pretty cool. And there's not a whole lot else to really do here in this little corner of the map right now, so we are going to probably wrap up this episode pretty soon. But there is one more thing that I can think of that we can do. So, let me just go ahead and do that really quickly. Actually, there's two things. First of all, the train switch is here, so this is actually pretty far away from the train station. I didn't actually go into the train station before, but you may remember there was like a little doorway towards the beginning of the map that had some notes nearby it. That it was close to where we learned how to use the springy step shoes, so that doorway leads to the train station. So now we've opened that, and it's actually pretty far away from the train station, so the train switches are starting to get a little tricky. But the last thing I actually want to do for this episode is go up here and drill this boulder. Because that will give us a treble clef, and that will give us a whole lot of notes. 25, to be exact. I did not want to go in first person. But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode. Next time, we're going to keep going through Pterodactyl Land. I don't know if we're going to finish it, because the worlds are starting to get very big and very long. So I don't know if we're going to finish it, but I'll try to get as much done as I can. So, until then, I'll see you whenever. Bye!